Hey, appreciate you guys tuning in. The Tastemakers podcast begins in 5 minutes. Make sure not to go nowhere, because Quote, Brina, Trisha, and Corey, also known as the Tastemakers, will be with you in 5 minutes. Thanks for sticking with us. Oh snap, you still here? Listen, in less than 3 minutes, the Tastemakers pod will be on and popping. Don't miss Bree, Quote, Trish, and Corey talking about the hottest topics in culture. Again, less than 3 minutes. Make sure to stick with us. I told y'all, patience is a virtue. This is what perseverance will get you. In just 60 seconds, you will be live with the Tastemakers pod. Again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you soon. What is going on? What's popping with you? Good to see you guys. And of course, thanks so much for tuning in to the Tastemakers podcast. Y'all know how we do it. We just give you a little taste of what's popping off in these streets, as my man Goss would say, of course, in the culture, whether it be hip-hop culture, Christian hip-hop culture, pop culture, black culture, all the catchy phrases. Right next to me right there, that'd be Trisha Bell. Hey. Right there, that's my man C. Goss, light skin. Yeah. And below me is your girl Brina. They call me, quote, we are the Tastemakers, y'all. And let's go ahead and do this. How you guys been? How's y'all's week been?
Chill.
Amazing. Super dope.
Yeah, it's been good.
Bang on that.
Let's shout out to our sponsor, Bang.
Right. Listen, we need them to sponsor because clearly. Yep. We'll represent them well.
Go ahead and pull up, Bang. We make sure that you guys are well represented.
You have a heart
all
attack,
the time.
Probably
not. Probably not. In Jesus' name. My cholesterol and my blood pressure is okay.
Okay.
And the truth of the matter is I probably have no more than 1 or 2 of these a week. But I always have one for the show. Again, shouts out to Bang.
Yo, Trish, them earrings is fire.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yo, the prince is actually kind of cool.
We in there, the Black Lives Matter shirt.
Hey, we was on the same wavelength. Look at
you
that.
You feel me, cuz?
I would be with you guys, but something else was just more important. Just is what it is. So,
Wow.
I'm messing. Like, but that worship, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm with you.
That hat's trash, bro.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, man. So that is what it is. Definitely good to hear everybody's in good spirits. Your man is finally 100% over here.
Hey, look at God.
Free from COVID, you know what I mean? So I feel real good. Oh, man. Bree, how you living down there?
I'm good. Feeling a lot better since last week.
They tear your city up?
Just about. But it's always like that. Whenever there's any kind of event here, downtown always goes crazy. So it's always some
Georgia Bulldogs. Indeed. Shouts out to Kira in the chat. What's popping up with you, Miss Jacobs?
Kira.
Kiki.
All is well.
Kiki, do you love me?
Hey.
We all know how we do, y'all. We got I think one of y'all just triggered my Siri. But we got these topics for y'all today. Y'all know how we do. Let me go ahead and run down the gamut real quick. We first got, of course, the Christian toxicity question. So we'll get into that. We'll be talking about the Hbcus, the top recruits that your man Deon Sanders is pulling in Jackson State. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about, and this will be more of a ladies-driven question. The guys will answer for the fun of it, but it's really about the ladies answering this question. And that question is it about the BBL or is it about fixing your teeth? Which one first, the BBL or the teeth? Which one has priority? And then lastly, of course, we'll talk about, should we all be millionaires out here? Like, is that plausible? Is that what it is? Is that what it should be? Is that something we all can pull off? So anyway, that is what it is. Get into the bag. I don't. Kira is giving slang that I'm not sure if I.
You don't know what getting to the bag means?
She's at work.
She's getting money. Yeah. Okay. I know the bag is money. I didn't understand that getting to the bag means I'm at work.
Well, that's what I did. Working, yes.
Yes. She's working.
Getting to the bag.
Hey. I am notably the oldest member of the Tastemakers pod.
Right.
I do know what getting the bag means, but I just didn't understand the getting to the bag. That's on me.
Process.
Okay. There you go. I'm a little slow.
I'm with you.
Yeah, there we go. Too much bang. The ginseng and the bang, it felt me. So anyway, that's what it is. But again, just to make sure to clarify for those that are 40 plus, if we're getting to the bag, that means we are literally at work or we are working right now, pretty much, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You got me, Reed. Shout out to my man, Reed. Yeah, I know I'm showing my age, but you got me, Reed. You got me. Ha ha. But no, so that is what it is, y'all. Let's go ahead and hit this first topic up. And this is Christian toxicity. So your girl Jay posted, shouts out to Jay, and I'll actually give you guys some more information about what's going on with Jay lately anyway. But she basically posted different things that she feels like could be considered toxic positivity and religion. And she put the whole God will never give you more than you can handle. It was God's plan. God wants you to be happy. Don't be sad. They're with God now. Have faith and it all will work out. Let go and let God. Basically saying that these statements can become unhelpful and dismissive when someone does not follow a religion or believe in God and or they are struggling and need support. And you know what? I guess with the disclaimer, I could rock with it a little bit, but just overall, what are y'all thoughts towards this Christian toxicity?
Wait, are we saying? So I think there's some other questions that me personally I need to know. I need some answers before I interpret what my sister Jay is trying to espouse here. You understand me? Now, I don't know. Is Jay still considering herself a Christian? Is she still in faith?
Jay is very much so still in the faith.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's good money. Like she's grounded. Everything.
As far as Christianity goes, yes.
Yeah.
As far as we know, all right. Because I know that era of CHH, a lot of them cats is out of here.
Especially, I was thinking like St. Louis. Like there's been some, like specifically in St. Louis, there's been some definitely issues. But
yeah. So if we come from that perspective, I can agree. I feel her on that, and I've always felt like this. Like this ain't a new feeling for me. And I think a lot of times we want to say the right thing, so we always know Jesus to be the right thing or God always be the right answer. So this is where these sayings come from, but it's not necessarily always the thing that we want to hear or the thing that needs to be said. Just because it's true don't mean it needs to be said. So you can have everything that she said right here, but hey, that's not helping me where I am right now. I think about the scripture, because y'all know I'm low-key a preacher. I think about the scripture where your man was like, yo, if the homie is on the street and he's hungry and you tell him God's going to provide and you don't give him no food, you ain't done nothing.
Right.
Like,
you ain't
you ain't nothing. You whack if you do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is that same kind of thing where it's like, yo, let's say, my mother just died, God forbid, knock on wood, right? And they tell me it was God's plan, or they tell me that,
let's say, okay, so for that one, it was
don't be sad.
They're with God now. Yeah.
Like, no, like I can be sad. Like, let me grieve, bruh.
Absolutely.
So I do agree with what she's saying. Like we should never say these statements, even though it's super difficult not to say these statements as Christians. So, yeah, that's my take.
Okay, Regis, I'm definitely gonna come to your question there, and Kira, I'm gonna get to that too. Brina, what you think about this?
I mean, I'm just looking at these, and these are just basically, it's like they're just blanket statements that we just get in the habit of using, and it's
but does that make them toxic, guys? Does that make them toxic?
Kind of. If you don't really, like, if somebody has like a real situation and they're really dealing with something and you don't have anything of substance to give them, and I'm not saying like somebody who doesn't really know and that's the best that they could come up with, but it's like if you just being lazy and you just being passive and God'll work it out. but it's like you're not really trying to put in any kind of effort to try to help the situation, then it can be. And it could come off that way to somebody, especially somebody who doesn't know Christ at all. And so that's why I'm saying, like, that's how I could see it being toxic. Because if it's another believer and you talking to and they understand the cliches, I don't think that's like toxic. But for somebody who's really in need of help, it could be.
Very true.
Like if they don't know.
Okay. Trish?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with, for the most part, what everybody's saying, because the dismissiveness of it for me is what makes it toxic, because it's kind of like, oh, let me just say something to make you feel better for now, and it is like, like you're not really thinking about, deeper. You're not thinking deeply about what is going on with me. And I definitely agree that for somebody who is not a believer, like somebody, I think Regis said, y'all would take, if a non-Christian said this, y'all would take what they said different. And I wouldn't. I would take what they're saying and apply it, and not, I would definitely want to be sure not to say something like that to a non-believer, because, like, again, it just comes off so dismissive. So
Now, with the disclaimer in there with the non-believer situation, I can agree with the post that Jay put from the non-believer standpoint. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'm twisting the scripture. I'm twisting her post and the purpose of her post a little bit as I put it towards Christians. I don't know, man. I don't see it as being toxic. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it can't absolutely positively be toxic in some way or form. But that's not where my heart goes with it initially. If somebody was to say these things to me, even if I really did, I think what it comes down to is, in this culture, what we do is, if somebody says or does something we don't want to hear, we call it toxic. And I'm just like, is it really? You know what I mean?
That happens. I agree. I definitely agree that people be doing the most with that word.
With the word.
T word.
Yeah.
With the T word. Exactly. So, like I said, can it be toxic? Ultimately, yes. I mean, we think about Job and maybe, his friends that was coming at Job a certain kind of way when he was going through his issues. You can consider that toxic. Mm-hmm. I do believe, though, that most people do mean well. And even if I'm not trying to hear what they're saying here, I do believe and understand. In my brain, I would say, well, they mean well. I'm not really trying to hear. They can go ahead about their business, but they mean well. Thank you for your well wishes. Get up out of my face. You know what I mean? Or whatever the case may be. And at the same time, sometimes this stuff is encouraging to certain people as well.
I think we went to too much therapy, and that's where we got this word toxic from. And now we consider everything toxic. For real. Because y'all know therapy's been popping over the last 3 or 5 years.
Therapy is popping.
Absolutely.
We support therapy,
especially for Black people.
So but say too much for therapy, sure. We're joking, but I understand what you're saying.
I just went to therapy on Wednesday. So I'm with you. But I'm saying we learn these words like toxic in therapy, and now we just think everything's toxic.
That's for sure.
I think in
the go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just saying that if the statements isolated aren't toxic necessarily, like you said. So I get that. And Kiera said, I honestly think that people are uncomfortable with pain. Yeah. So mourning with those who mourn is uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of times what it is. Shout out to Tosh in the chat. What's popping, Tosh? Shout out to Reese, my man Charles. Going back to Regis said they are patented church responses. That's true. They can be definitely considered patented church responses. I don't think I'd ever say them to a non-believer, just because that is kind of weird, going back to Jay's initial point. But I did want to hear that going to Christians. Of course, my man Charles Brown says, is that even really scripture? That whole more than you can bear thing?
No, it's not. It's not.
Exactly. So we've been saying that for years. And that ain't even necessarily scripture. So that's that as well. And then let's see what else we got here. Sometimes silence presence is way more effective than misplaced words. I agree with that as well, Charles. That is what it is for sure. So, yeah, like I said, now speaking of your girl, Jay, of course, just, sharing what's going on with Jay. Jay's been in the game for a long time in the Christian hip hop spot and whatever, but we really ain't heard from Jay, I would say, in the last decade, if I could be honest with you. I really haven't heard from Jay. I say decade, that's not true. 7, 8 years, let's say that. Not quite a decade. Come to find out, Isaiah, who is Jay's husband, cheated on her and has now married the woman that he cheated on her with. And so Jay is
what? Serious?
Yeah. So Jay is now and they say your man Willie Moore Jr. was actually Isaiah's best man for the new wife. So just to throw that in there too.
That sounds like just sounds messy.
Yeah. So it's a mess out there. So Jay is finally on her. Jay is doing a lot of things with Joyce Meyer right now. She's trying to get herself back, her mind right, getting her sexy back, or whatever the case may be out here. And she's actually been catching some flacks in the comment sections on some of her posts. But shouts out to Jay. What's up? Shouts out to Jay. Keep your head up. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving what Jay is doing on socials right now. I'm loving what she's doing with Joyce Myers as well.
Can I be your best man at your wedding if you cheat with somebody?
There's rules to this, right?
No, don't ask me. Don't ask me to comment. I'm not commenting.
Can I be your best quote? Can I be your best man if
and you marrying the one you cheated with? It's wrong. I mean, I understand me being your boy, your bro. Right. I don't know that I can process that right off.
Like, are there rules?
Well, listen. I'm gonna give you the business. Right. I'm gonna give you the business. And if you still feel like you want me to be your best man, I'm gonna pray about it, but then we'll see how it work out. But I'm gonna give you the business.
Yo, I'm trying to put this together in my head. Like,
I wouldn't be able to do that one. I'm sorry. Just me personally.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't think I would either, but I ain't never been in that situation to say for sure. You know what I mean?
That's so wrong.
Yeah, so.
Yo, I don't know. That's a good Facebook question.
Wow.
Yo.
Can I be that's crazy.
Wow.
No, I gotta talk to Willie, bro. I gotta see what's up with Willie.
Well, I mean, man, like I said, we try not to. Like I said, this is public information. All right, this is something that Jay has put out there. She's actually burned her wedding dress on social media after.
Oh wow, I know
stuff like that, different things of that nature. So she's put this out there.
Sure,
I got some other stuff that I can't even share because I don't even know it to be true. But yeah, Cats is. Listen. I want to be very clear. We know what makes the news, right? We know the negativity makes the news. We know the broken relationships, the divorce, and all that stuff makes the news. But let's be real. Divorce rates are down. Okay?
They are?
They are.
Really?
Divorce rates are down.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
Divorce rates are down.
Considering.
So people are, especially in the last decade per se, divorce. It's lower now than it was even 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's definitely true. Yeah.
But overall divorce rates going on. They're saying right now it's anywhere between 40 and 50. Where at one point it was like at 52, 55. You know what I mean?
Right.
So right now we're in that 45 range right now. So
but what if you legit get married and you realize you married the wrong person? And you like, yo, I really married the wrong person.
You made a commitment.
Yeah, but like
before God,
you made a mistake. Like,
hey, I'm gonna need you to be. Some decisions you got to really. Some decisions you got to take really seriously.
Unless it's something that's like, it's a very bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody coming for your head.
Yeah,
nah.
I think there's other things that would.
I can legit see me marrying the wrong person in like 6 months.
I can too, actually.
I know.
I can see you marrying the wrong person.
But if and only if you don't. I think you just need like intense counsel, like people who going Because boy, if you going to do that thing on your own, no, sir.
Yo, I legit could see
don't
me
work.
marrying the wrong person and realizing it like 6 to 8 months in and being like, yo, this wasn't
Well,
this
then
wasn't
it's
it.
too late. It's too late by then. You better make that work.
What if we don't have sex?
Wow.
What if we haven't had sex yet?
What kind of honeymoon did you have? What kind of honeymoon did you have?
Yo, now that I'm thinking about it, this might be the safest bet. Get married, but don't have sex for like 6 to 8 months. Just to make sure.
No woman is going for that. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No?
And if not, then maybe y'all going to have to,
But I'm saying.
Here you go.
I'm saying.
You're wilding.
You can hold out. You've held out for years.
No marriage.
You've held out for years. You can hold out for a little 6 to 8 months until I see if I want to get my money back.
Not if I'm married. Absolutely.
Wow.
You
the package was
unopened.
unopened. I still got the receipt, baby. I still got the receipt.
If this thing is on the finger,
I agree with Trish.
Listen,
wait. No, but listen, y'all, listen, for real. In 2022,
in 2022,
people make wrong decisions all the time.
People been making wrong decisions their whole life.
So once I get married, it's it. I can never give it back.
Oh my God.
Like,
I can't.
Do I got 24 hours? Do I got 30 days?
No.
That's not how that works.
You got to make sure beforehand, premarital counseling,
all
lots of
that.
prayer, lots of all that jazz. Go ahead and bring around the homies, bring around the family, yada, yada, yada. You got to both. Don't get me wrong. I mean, listen, I ain't going to front with you. Cats will get married and change up on you anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So listen, at the end of the day, like I tell y'all every week, it is about a decision and keeping that decision.
My best friend is in here, y'all. My bestie is in here. She said,
shouts out to Trisha's bestie.
Bro,
I ain't waiting 6 months for anything after marriage. And yes.
Fam. Okay. But I'm saying though.
No, ain't nothing to say, Corey. It's nothing to say.
You can't make a wrong lifetime decision.
That's why you take the time beforehand to get it right.
Do y'all know how much stuff I've gotten wrong and it took me 10 and 15 years I thought I wanted something?
I'm just shaking my head because
this is a real concern. God. This is a real concern.
Well, you need to talk to Jesus about it.
Listen. I am the marriage mulligan. The marriage mulligan. Hey, can I get a redo? Listen.
I feel like if we don't have sex, then we're not married for real.
Well, I mean,
no,
biblically I'm right,
but I don't know if that's gonna work for you.
Biblically, yes, but legally, you are. So
legally, that's a whole other situation.
You're gonna have to figure that one out. But don't do that. Just come on.
That's a big decision.
Reed just like, yo, cats ain't even waiting before they get married, and you talk about 6 months after.
Ain't nobody doing that. And you ain't even doing that. I don't even know why you said that, because you're not doing that.
How do I know that you're gonna want me now? I'm gonna want you 20 years down the line. Like, I don't know that.
Yes, you do. When you married her, when you gave her the ring, that's how you knew. Right there.
I'm not getting married, bro.
Right. Kira said, well, when you marry, your body is not your own anymore, so you can't wait for that.
You can't even wait 6 months. You ain't even got that choice, player.
Period.
Man.
You can get it annulled if you didn't consummate. Oh, right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
They
don't be giving him no information.
Let me know how that works.
You have to work marriage each and every day. That's a whole fact.
That's the truth.
Right. You know you're going in. It's 48 hours. You're not waiting. That's what I'm saying. You talking about waiting. You are not waiting.
Listen, I go back to what Reed just originally said. Cats be slipping up on their way to the altar. How you think you're gonna make it 6 months after the joint? Tell me how that's going to work.
Gratification. I like delayed gratification.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Counsel, wise counsel.
This joint is like really just hitting me. This joint is like really just hitting me now in this moment.
I feel you.
Because I know I make wrong choices all the time.
You know.
Yo, this is when you get your boys to pray for you.
Fam.
You get the moms, the mothers to intercede. You know what I'm saying? You talk to your pastor, make sure you bring around the fam. You got to just do it all, man.
But I gotta live with that at the end of the day. I don't care who likes her.
Destiny says, shoot, my dress gonna have a Velcro bump and a zipper. Yo, listen, man. Come on, man. Honeymoon is on and popping.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Popping.
Right,
listen. Yo.
Moving on.
Listen. Moving on. Yo. So let's hit this real quick, man. This HBCU Top Recruits joint. Your man Deon Sanders is handling the business real quick. I don't think we're going to stick on this topic very long, but I just think it deserves to be mentioned, especially as Black folk. Deon is out here bagging top recruits, okay? We're talking about the number one in the nation, Travis Hunter, first and foremost. And then he just picked up the number one slot receiver, not wide receiver in the whole nation, but slot receiver in the nation too, to HBCUs. This is something that's never happened before, all right? And it just bears mentioning because of if it's becoming sexy. Like, it's becoming sexy where cats is like, look, I can go to an HBCU, play there. The South Scouts is still going to be there for the NFL. Yeah. I can have the HBCU experience. And if we start getting HBCUs to these bowl games, guys, we're talking about money coming back to our community. Like the Rose Bowl game is like it's a $4 million pocket.
Right.
Orange Bowl is a $6 million pocket. Sugar Bowl, 4. Cotton Bowl, 6. You feel what I'm saying? My point is this money then comes back to Black colleges and back to Black communities. We should have been doing this for the longest, but back then you didn't have the scouts, the technology to be able to, make sure that you was going to be able to get NFL, theoretically. I mean, because Jerry Rice went to an HBCU. Of course, Doug Williams went to an HBCU. Those are Hall of Famers, and the list goes on and on. But now it's becoming sexy to go to HBCUs. Your man, Deon Sanders, protect him at all costs. He's changing the game, and this could be really, really big for us as a people. What you guys got to say about this?
Yeah, well, I'm going to take a hot take. And as the only HBCU graduate on this podcast, maybe not. Am I the only one? I probably am.
You are.
Yes. Yeah. As a proud HBCU alum, shout out Virginia State. You know what I'm saying? I love to see it. I love to see Black people flourishing. Because we've been good enough. We've been dope enough. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why have we been taking all our talents over there when we could just keep it in the community? We can keep it home. And then people say the level of competition is different. You know what I'm saying? Well, if we start going to these schools, the competition will start to even out. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And let's keep it a whole buck. You know what I'm saying? Most of the HBCU recruits most of the recruits, top recruits in the nation, are Black. Mm-hmm. So
most of the players in the nation is Black. For sure.
So if we just kept all this stuff in-house per se, man, listen, they have to come to us for everything. You understand me?
I love it. I love it. Bree, what you think?
Yep. No, I'm just, I love to see it too, because if all the top recruits can start, joining these HBCUs and these schools can start, making money off of their own instead of all of these other larger institutions, making all this money off of Black athletes. So, yep, I'm happy to see it. Really happy to see what's going on.
I know that you may be not as sports out as us three, but what you think about this?
I still think it's beautiful. It's definitely beautiful. I absolutely love to see it, and we need more of this. Like, I'm hyped.
Yo, Deon Sanders had them in this season in the locker room. I think it might have been one white boy on the team, but the rest of everybody was Black, and it was in the locker room like on some, I forgot what song it was, but it was all kinds of N-bombs in it. I think it was for my nigga, I ride for my nigga. I think it was that joint, right? But they is getting down with the joint, and I'm just like, it's just a beautiful Black HBCU experience. I went to Oral Roberts. I didn't go to, and I didn't graduate from there. Shouts out to my man Reed in the joint. But did radio at Hampton University at a HBCU for multiple years, and I was on campus all the time because I was of that age range, so it benefited me to be on campus for several reasons at that time. But yeah, so I mean, just call it what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I just think it's a beautiful thing. Yes, Hampton all day. Shouts out to Charles. Almost got beat up on that song. Kiera is crazy.
Kiera is crazy, and I believe it too.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this is something that really could do really, really dope. Checking the chats real quick. Now we need the boosters to do what they do to get the eyes funded in these programs. Indeed, Tosh, I used to daydream about this. Be ready for interference and opposition to come. Tosh is right about that. That's for sure. Like I said, protect these cats at all times because cats gonna be coming for their necks. Because when you start messing with people's money, yeah, that's what it is. So I just wanted to touch on that topic a little bit before we jumped on to the next topic, just because this is big for the culture. The fact that HBCUs and going to an HBCU as a top level athlete is becoming the sexy move. I can have it all. I can have the HBCU, different world, Hillman College experience, and I can still get recruited, by an NFL team or whatever the case may be. It's a beautiful thing, and Cats is realizing that, and Cats is understanding how that affects the community, and Cats is stepping up and making these choices, and I just salute these young men for making these choices, for sure.
It's a fact.
Love it.
So, going on to the next topics. I'm going to hit this real quick, Charles, because I saw you actually sent this to the Track Stars about the Kanye's video, Heaven or Hell. Have y'all checked the Kanye video, Heaven or Hell, yet?
No, I've been on social media for
it's really kind of dope. Don't get me wrong; it's a very beautiful visual experience. I encourage everybody to check it out. I didn't really want to dig in.
I forgot what song goes. How's the song?
This is the bump. Okay, this is the no more. I can't. It's the very gospel. Let it rock, rock. That joint.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
It's a very gospel centric message all through the joint. Now, the video is, I don't want to get too much into it because I can't say that it was a beautiful visual experience. Don't get me wrong. I can't say that I have any kind of real interpretation for all that was going on. I only watched it once. I'd have to check it out again. But it sounds like Charles has dissected it, and he probably has a big kind of a breakdown of what it meant per se. So, Charles, if you want to type your breakdown now, I'll definitely read that. With that being said, let's get on to the next topic. So, listen, this topic is for the ladies.
Hey.
Ladies.
But the two guys are going to respond to this topic first, just for the pure comedy of it. Then we'll let the ladies talk about this. But just because we got no business commenting on this at all from a guy perspective, I figure we'll go first, get our crazy whack responses out the way, then we'll let the ladies have the talk that needs to happen. So Cardi B on the BBL before teeth. Of course, Cardi was like, nope, I think you go to get that BBL before the teeth. Niggas trick on a girl with a body and a gap before they do with a B with a nice smile. Your BBL is your investment for your teeth.
I don't
Plus,
understand that.
BBL $6,000 to $15,000. Good veneers $20,000 to $50,000. Shouts out to Kev on stage and that chick Angel, because I actually talked about this a little bit today, and that's actually I was like, yo, we got to address this real quick. Now, veneers in the $20,000-$50,000. That is good veneers, because you can definitely get veneers for less than that. But that is good veneers, whatever the case may be. Goss, BBL or teeth fix? What you think is more from a guy's perspective? What's the first thing somebody should need to do?
So my homies always get mad at me because they always joke me for liking super skinny girls, right? So I care less about your BBL. I don't care nothing about that.
Okay.
Like for me, I am a faces over figures kind of guy. You feel me? So I'm gonna need those teeth looking good. You heard me, because I just feel like I want to kiss you in the mouth, and I don't want to have to merge lanes through teeth. You feel me? So That's how I feel. Like
You said you don't feel like going through the obstacle course?
you know what I'm saying? I don't.
The NBA All-Star Cone Challenge?
Wow.
You know
Y'all
what
ain't
I'm
right.
saying?
That's
I
not
don't
right.
want.
Wow.
I don't want to have the American Gladiator to drink.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
That's me.
Please,
That's
please,
me
God.
personally.
Listen. BBL or teeth? For me, I'm gonna say teeth too. I'm actually a little concerned with all this work that's getting done by
It's
the
a
ladies.
lot.
It's a whole
It's a
thing.
lot.
It's a whole thing. Y'all got me a little concerned. Now I
They
ain't saying. Go ahead,
sorry.
Trish.
No, I was gonna say they're getting BBLs like they're changing their weaves. Like that's how frequent it's happening. Like I don't understand. I really don't.
Listen. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. It is y'all's body. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your body. But all this work that's being done is starting to get scary. And I got close people I love very, very close to me who has had these different works done for different reasons
Really?
or whatever the case may be. But
You know girls with BBLs?
I know people with work. You know what I'm saying? I know people with work. I'm going to say this. I do think, and I'm not saying that people aren't doing this, but I believe there should be some therapy with all this work that's being done.
And I
For the
need
record,
to speak to
I
this.
did the teeth joint, but whatever. Me and Corey are now going to back up out of this.
Yeah.
Trish, Brina, y'all deserve this. This is y'all. We had no business speaking on this anyway. So y'all handle what y'all do.
Yeah. Bree, you got something? Because I'm
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Don't Bree, don't let Bree get off on this.
I know. I ain't gonna
No, I'm not. No, it's just my cousin just got one. So my cousin just got a BBL, and for like she couldn't sit for like a month afterwards, and she was like wrapped in plastic and all this stuff, and she was talking about how painful the recovery was. And I'm like, is it really worth all of that? Like, you can't sit down.
It's
not.
Yeah, I'm just like, nah, it's too risky.
Your man Kevin on stage said he was in Atlanta, boarding a plane, and he hadn't really figured it out, but he was like, all these young girls in wheelchairs, what's going on? Why are these young girls in wheelchairs? Lord Jesus.
Donut pillows.
It's flying in, getting the job, flying out, it's just, oh my God, it's too much. Trish, it's on you.
Okay. So I think if you're getting a BBL because you want a bigger butt because you feel like it's too small and you have insecurities, I think that's could be problematic, right? And of course you could do what you want with your body, like you said, quote, but it's becoming so much of a thing because there's so many influencers, right? Because it's the influencer community that is like really getting all of the surgeries. You got to look good on the gram, and so for a lot of women, they feel like they don't live up to, the standard, quote unquote, right? Problematic. And like you said, therapy, all them type of things needs to happen. They need to, it needs to be a deeper thought to that. Plus, I was watching, there's a surgeon, she's a Black woman, and she does BBLs, but she said it's one of the most dangerous surgeries ever.
Oh
she said there are so many women dying from a BBL.
Yep.
Wow.
And it's not being talked about because all you see is what all these, there's so many women out here getting them, but it's so many women out here dying too. So
wow,
it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Now, I will say, coming from the perspective of a mom who has had 4 children, okay, whose body looks like who body is this? Because I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have to say, for moms, I understand getting the mommy makeover. You know what I'm saying? Like the stomach,
the tuck, boom, boom.
All of that. Now I know that's a little bit separate from the BBL. What she say?
For the record, Kira is she's calling Cap. Just
listen.
Oh yeah, she's calling Cap.
I hear you.
She said, Trish looks good, y'all. That's what she said.
I appreciate you.
And I'm like, where's Steven at? Because I'm sure. Yeah.
That's my sister. I appreciate her. I'm just saying, like, when it comes to work in general, I'm definitely like, oh, I would definitely get a tummy tuck. Like, that's, for me, it's like, I don't care what nobody think about that. You see my belly with what it used to be and what it is now. You can't say nothing to me about nothing, okay? Let somebody say something and say, oh, she need to have confidence. Oh, I got confidence, but I want my belly back, okay? My children have stolen my belly, okay?
Belly back.
But back to the question at hand. But back to the question at hand, you talking about teeth, get your teeth done or get the BBL? I say get them teeth done. Like,
yes.
I had braces.
Yep.
Listen, I had gaps. I am not afraid to say it, and I got my teeth fixed.
Same here.
Listen, I mean, why not?
I still got my gap.
Hey, you love your gap, flaunt your gap.
I love all of me.
Hey, Bree, BBL or teeth? Which one first?
Teeth.
Okay. That's what it is. Yo, hitting up the chat real quick. Cats went crazy over the Corey and the merge lanes joint. Cats went crazy. Regis was like, why you all in my grill? Yo, let's see here. Destiny said BBLs have made it hard for women with natural bodies. That is so true. Let's see here. Kira like, yo, why your tongue sweeping her whole mouth though? Let's see.
That's what I was like. What?
Then Kira put, never mind, don't answer that.
Cause that's how I kiss, girl. Come get some of this loving.
Hey,
not all up in the top no.
Hey, Regis was like, yo, look. Like. Regis said it's trash out here. Give me all them stretch marks and natural everything. Shout
out to stretch marks. Shout out.
Yep. So listen. Oh man, yeah, it's wild out here. Like I said, I just and like I said, most of the loved ones that I have that have had different kind of procedures, whatever the case may be, has mostly been due to other complications, in which then they were like, well, because of these other complications, we can go ahead and do the other work that needs to be done, or whatever the case may be. It was mostly like that. So I don't think they were necessarily all on just some vanity type stuff, even though they took advantage of the situation for sure. Shouts out to them. But I want to make sure, the Cats is getting that mental right for all these surgeries and whatnot. Because these things do go wrong too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
These things do go wrong. And just images in general, I never knew how crazy it was until I was working in middle management, and one of my employees was this beautiful, small as I don't know what, as far as around the waist, Latino girl, and Latina, and she was beautiful, gorgeous. You know what I mean? Every dude was trying to holler, all that. She broke down one day in the office because she couldn't fit this dress or something. I mean, and she broke and she was unconsolable.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, it was my experience of just like, oh, dang. Like, this goes way beyond how people look. This has to do with how people feel about themselves.
Absolutely.
And mental and different things of that nature when it comes down to it. Again, we ain't saying if you want to get the work done, get the work done. If you do that, do what you do. Just make sure, you worry when one procedure leads to another procedure, leads to another procedure, and it's insatiable. You know what I mean? Like, you're never really satisfied. You worry about that. You know what I mean? Just for people in general. Ain't nobody trying to tell you what to do, but people care. People just want to make sure that you is right for all this.
I'm trying to tell you what to do. Don't get it.
Yeah, the BBL scares me. It's like,
don't do it, sis. Don't do it.
Nah, that's something I would never get. I don't need it anyway, but I don't want it. Give me that tummy tuck. I will get that tummy tuck real quick.
We just put Cardi saying it from a hustler perspective, though, so he gets what she's saying. Yeah, I mean, and it is different. Like I said, whether with the influencers and of course Cardi being in front of cameras all the time. So I mean, I get it. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? I get it. I noticed your girl Beyonce broke down and got some work done too. I saw that. Oh, yeah,
Did she say it? Did she say
said it? But come on,
you could tell.
No,
you could tell because it's like it's a little tight around.
It's too right. It's so unnatural.
It's too tight, and yeah, it looks a little unnatural. And I mean,
it looks beautiful. It looks good, but you're like, ain't nobody come out like that. I'm sorry. Oh, for real. And not only did nobody come out like that, but 10 years ago, it won't like this. You know what I mean?
I think she definitely did it after the kids because I understand it. Like I'm not knocking nobody.
Ain't nobody trying to knock. We just trying to make sure as everybody tries to keep up with these influencers and keep up with these
knock, nigga. I'm knocking.
Oh yeah, Destiny said, "What's up with our sisters getting these no job?" Listen. It is so many. Do y'all understand? These singers out here are getting all of the nose jobs. Like, embrace your black nose. I love my wide nose. I do not care. Okay. It's not going nowhere. All right. These women out here, they get it so small. Janet Tamar and Summer Walker. I'm like, why would touch your face? Your face looks beautiful. What are you doing?
I don't get it. I'm sure. Obviously, the science says there is no. But if I'm a singer, you want to have. Well, anyway. Obviously, the science says different than what my mind is thinking concerning it. But you're right. Regis put Little Kim as a perfect example of how it goes bad. Y'all,
oh my gosh.
When Kim first did her first few surgeries, it was okay.
Yeah.
But now it's out of control. She is unrecognizable. Like somebody famous, Miss Kim, came up on them, and they didn't realize it was Kim. And it was weird. It was a weird situation. They had to come back like, oh, this Little Kim in front of me, because it's different.
Girl, squats be working. Listen, I done seen the squats work.
Charles said, just do some squats. Destiny was like, squats don't work.
You gotta do a rack of squats. It's how you concentrate on the muscle. Like when you concentrate on that muscle, you can shape it in the way you want to shape it. It just takes time. Nene Leakes got her. Oh my gosh, she got it done a couple times. Yeah. She got it done.
It changed her face, but even though I would say Nene still looks nice though with it, right? It's not. It didn't kill. It changed her whole look. Don't get me wrong. She looks like a completely different person to me. But you're lucked up. It still ended up looking okay. You know what I mean?
Feel like her recent nose is a little. It's a little sus. It's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just hope some therapy is coming with all this because you just worry about cats. You know, you want to make sure everybody's all right. Charles is like, since we're here, what about skin bleaching? Ugh.
I like skin. I ain't bleaching me ever.
That's the thing, especially for Africans. And some in Jamaica. If you got a booty, do squats don't work. Trust me. Yes, it do. It do work. Listen. I'm telling you, I just seen the white girls be out here. When I tell you, okay, how they butts be bigger than ours. You know why? Because they do squats. They do them all them little leg lifts and carrying on. They be concentrating on that muscle. Tell you.
And they getting them BBLs.
They are getting BBLs too. They are. I'm not gonna lie, but some of them get it naturally,
and they a little bit more. They a little bit more slick with it than I think sometimes we are.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we don't really care about people knowing our stuff. I think the white girls still want to act like nothing happened. You know what I mean? I woke up like this. No, you didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them have though. Some of them do.
Yeah. Some of them were just doing the squats, and maybe so. Maybe so.
He said, y'all remember when Lil' Kim was black?
That's what he said. That's what y'all said. Lord Jesus.
Oh, dude.
Listen.
That's the Lil' Kim I miss.
Listen. So let's hit up this last bit right here. We're going to play this video. We're not sure if the video is going to translate well, but you will hear the audio. The audio will be flawless, I expect. We've done this before on the Tastemakers Pods. It's a segment that we kind of do where we play a video, and at any time during the video, somebody will scream stop, whatever the case may be, and we'll talk about a little bit about what was said. Your girl Bree is handling all the mechanics. Salutes to you, and thanks so much for that. But let's go ahead and get into this real quick. The question is pretty much, should we all be millionaires? This is a Jubilee joint where millionaires are talking, and the IQ of these people is not like, sometimes I think we like to think millionaires are just way smarter than us or something like that. And it just don't be the case necessarily. And I think this kind of proves it. Let's go ahead and hit play on that.
Okay.
I literally started from the bottom. I'm not saying that I was ever homeless or anything, but I did grow up in a single family household. We ended up sharing like a 1-bedroom apartment with 5 people living on one bed. Living through those struggles really did put into perspective that I just wanted more out of life. So I went out there and I did whatever it took to build my wealth. And even though all odds were stacked against me, like I failed out of business administration, my counselor told me I would never make it in business, but I took that and it lit a fire under me to prove her wrong almost.
I feel like personally self-made has to be somebody that was growing up broke, in my opinion. Like you got it from the bottom, and I didn't get it from the bottom.
I disagree with that. I don't think you need to come straight from the bottom. Like I started with a few $1,000s. I know a lot of people who started their whole businesses with a few $1,000s.
A few thousand is more than what I had, so in my mind,
it doesn't matter. Like a few thousand isn't
better.
going to make or break your business, like your life. Like you can't.
$0?
Let's say you start with $1,000. I still believe you're self-made. Even 10,000, even 20,000, because you're not truly like even 6 figures or 7 figures.
I'm broke, and
So, in my opinion, his entitlement. So for the record, this is a bunch of non-millionaires judging millionaires, which is fun, right? So his entitlement is showing when he starts talking about, well, even if you had $10,000 or $20,000, you're still theoretically self-made. Like, how many of us know people who can't even fathom having those kind of dollars? And we all know that 10 and 20 grand ain't a whole lot of money. We know that now in our lives, but we know people that can't even fathom having that kind of money or whatever the case may be. So my question is real quick to the chat and to the tastemakers here is, self-made, what does that mean to y'all to be self-made?
I don't think it exists, to be honest. I don't think that there's any such thing as being self-made necessarily, because it's almost impossible. I will say it's impossible. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna just throw that out there. It's impossible to become a millionaire by yourself. You have to have a team of people. You have to have people in place who have helped you get to where you are. And that you can't do that on your own, on your dolo solo. Like it's just not. It doesn't. No. Nah.
Anybody else?
I'm thinking like when you say self-made, rather than what's the opposite of self-made. Like I can get what people are saying when they say self-made. They're not necessarily saying it was just me by myself. I got it from the mud. I didn't have no help from nobody, but they're saying I didn't have to take the traditional route of going to college, getting money from my parents, whatever. But me and my small team, we hustled together and got it. So we're all self-made. So for me, I agree with you. I don't think anybody does it necessarily 100% by themselves, but self-made to me more so seems like I didn't go the traditional route of how people make money. I did it my way, the way I wanted to do it. And I got a little small team together and we made millions together.
Yeah. Kira's calling Cap. I'm with Cap on that. Destiny is like, okay, Mr. My dad gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Right.
Charles is like, hit dogs, holla. Of course, Kira agrees, but you don't believe in self-made. And then Regis is like where I'm at. This fool said 20K is the same as 0. Get out of here.
That's not even close.
Get out of here. Talking about some 10, 20 grand. I'm just telling you, there are people in this world, there's plenty of people in this world who have never ever had 10 grand at one time in their life.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's plenty of people in this world that has never had that.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's that. Let's continue.
I live at mom's house with $0. You're in a way better position than
You
me.
can mow lawns for a few months and make like a few $1,000s. Like there's ways.
You know how
to
many
make,
lawns I'm gonna have to mow?
It's a lot of lawns, but that is self-made.
I know what it feels like to be poor. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is funny.
There's a difference between being poor and being broke. I've been broke before, like me and my husband have been broke many times in like our relationship, but we've never been poor. And even like a long time ago when I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment with my family, we were never poor. I mean, I was happy, like I had pudding, we went to like parks and stuff. I never felt poor.
When I was 7 years old, I got kicked out and moved into my grandparents' garage, and so I was poor mentally and I was broke financially, and I had to take care of myself at a very young age. So for a decade, I was running a pool company in order to eventually gain the opportunities to ultimately move that ball down the court, obviously. So,
But were you happy?
I mean, I wasn't, not really, right? Because there was a lot of stuff going on, and like I'm living in a garage and I'm growing up, and I had to not only become rich financially, but also mentally.
I know what it's like to have everything and lose it all. So for me, my parents split when I was young. My family was broken. My mom had to then support 2 children. My dad had some nasty habits with gambling and lost everything. So he had a lot of debts that my mom ended up having to be chased for. And basically, I was 12 years old when I got my first job going door-to-door sales, selling newspaper subscriptions, and I had to bust my ass off to help my mom. So for me, I feel like we all start from somewhere and we go through certain motions because it builds character.
I like that. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I had that mindset. Like I travel to third world countries to kind of see what it's like, but I still can't put myself like totally in that spot.
I feel like, again, broke and poor are 2 different things. Like I grew up in a 2-parent home. I, went to prom in a Bentley. Like I grew up.
All right, help us in the chat. What's the difference between being broke and being poor?
Broke is temporary. Poor,
Right.
It's like it's like joy and happiness. Like
Right.
joy is like poor. I'm sorry. Joy is broke. No, joy is poor, and happiness is broke. Like it's temporary. It's not who you are as a person. It's not gonna last forever. It's like, yo, I'm broke right now. You know what I'm saying? But if you're poor, that's like your status. Like you're considered like poverty poor. That's how I think about it.
Yeah. Here's a mindset. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put this out here as well. Matter of fact, Tosh said earlier, 20K ain't nothing. You're absolutely right. 20K ain't nothing.
It's really not.
But again, there's a lot of us who have never had 20K in our hand at any particular time to make a move with. Matter of fact,
Right.
yeah, 20K is actually something I have never had in my hand at one time to make a move with. Is that a true statement? I think that's a true statement for me. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people talking about it's a mindset and mentality, whatever the case may be. I'm more where Stephen the Levite is again. Where Stephen the Levite is with it. Broke is paycheck to paycheck. Broke is I get paid in 2 weeks and I spend all my money. That's broke.
Yeah.
Poor is I don't know where I'm staying tonight, or I don't know what my next meal is going to be. It's an adventure every night. I'm not saying I might not have ate, but the fact that we have to, okay, where are we staying tonight? Or even if we got to staying together, what the heck we eating? That's
Right.
poor. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see it right off, or whatever the case may be, the difference between broke and poor. Yeah. But poor is definitely, I mean, like that's a lot of y'all saying too. Poor is definitely a mindset.
Yeah.
It's definitely a mindset as well.
Because I think if your mindset is on that poor mentality, it's hard for you to get out of it.
It's hard for you to
harder
see
get
your way out.
Yeah,
It's hard for you to see your way out. It's almost like a depression of sorts.
For sure. For sure.
It's hard for you to see your way out. Yeah, and then Reed just put, but 20K at one time can be flipped versus earning 20K in maybe 4 to 6 months. No, I feel that. I feel that for sure. For sure. Let's keep the party going. Y'all good?
Yep.
up really, really great. But then I hit 20 and I moved out with some boy. And the situation got very, very domestic violence-y. Now, I was living in a penthouse, and I'm sorry, I got too much pride. I wasn't gonna go back home. And you know, I'm like black and blue, like getting locked into like closets, like really, really toxic stuff. So that for me was very, very poor. Now, did it slingshot me to 6-figure a month income? Yes. But in that state of mind and in that environment, I felt like I was really poor. Like I looked beat up, and my direct deposit was not gonna fix a black eye, you know, like.
Pause. So I think she hit on what you guys hitting with poor being a mentality. I'm still of the mindset that, I mean, she said she was black and blue, but living in a penthouse, so she was poor.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a heart. You might, your situation is jacked, but you still in my brain, you still ain't poor. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I don't know. Your situation is jacked. It's definitely a horrible situation that you are in, but you are not. In my brain, you're still not poor. There's the word again, toxic, and maybe that's the word for this. That
was appropriate.
Situation.
That was appropriate.
Very appropriate.
Exactly.
What does she do now that she makes 6 figures a month?
I was about to
I'm
say.
not sure if they went in on that. I'm not
like
sure if they went in on exactly what she did or not. I know some of them made money off of Amazon, like selling stuff on Amazon and stuff like that. But yeah. But Kira put, I think it's poor mentality is what made her stay, though. Is what Kira put. I mean, I got you. I got you on that. I got you. That's poor. Destiny. I used to live with water rats and ate syrup sandwiches. That's poor. You know what I'm saying? I could rock with that. Listen, I could think. I know there was a small segment of my life where I was living out my car. Small segment, probably, yeah. Probably about a segment of 3 to 6 months. I believe all this stuff happens for a reason because there's a whole lot that was going on in my life at that time.
3 to 6 months?
And the whole. So let me go into detail. But the whole situation was to move me somewhere else. Had the situation not gone like that, I would have never left Virginia. And God knew I'd have never left Virginia. So I believe the situation was used for whatever case may be. When I say 3 to 6 months, I was living out of my church. Then a water burst in the church, flooding out the church.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to spend about a month living out of my car in the cold of winter.
You should have called me. I would have gave you a couch.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. You weren't in Hampton Roads at that time, though. You was in Richmond.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You could have came to Richmond.
Well, my brother's in Richmond. I could have came to Richmond, but I was in. That's how much I wasn't gonna leave Hampton Roads. I love my city. I love my. I love the 7 cities. I'm not. I'm not leaving here. I'm back here now. I'm not leaving. You know what I mean? But it was that mentality. God was like, yo, look, okay, so I got to take you down for you to leave. And I left and met my wife. Had I not left, I wouldn't have been, met my wife, yada, 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 boom, 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 had I not gone to Kentucky. I hate Kentucky, but there was purpose in Kentucky. And I'm glad I'm back in the beach. You feel what I'm saying? Back in VA. 7 cities, Hampton Roads all day. Yeah, exactly, Destiny. So that is what it is. But what's funny about that, my whole point of making that statement is living out of my car in that situation, I still wasn't poor. I was broke. I still had a check coming every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. I still was making moves like Reg. My living situation was just different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was still doing all. Anyway, all that to be said. But yeah, let's keep it moving. It locked up?
Yep. There we go.
Pay more in taxes. 3, 2, 1.
I should pay more in taxes.
I feel like, you make more money, you obviously do have to pay somewhat more, but I don't feel like we deserve extra things to pay just because we have more money. Like, we shouldn't be looked to as like a fund, from the government or someone else who just feels like, oh, you have more money, you should pay more in taxes.
I just feel like there should be a little bit more freedom with it, because it's really really stressful, and I feel like a lot of businesses fail.
Yes, Kira, all the rich people are about to start complaining about their tax situations.
In the first 3 years because of taxes, not because they're bad at business, not because they're bad at managing money, but because they're not prepared to do everything by the book.
I mean, I just don't appreciate it when big companies who sell a lot of their services like in the US and then they have some like Ireland tax status where they're getting out of it, like Apple and Amazon and these big companies that theoretically should pay billions in taxes while it's us average people who are really supporting the government. I think there should be a little less inequality there.
Amazon paid $0 in taxes.
Did you see Bezos is donating to Australia for the...
All right, so we'll cut it because we're still working out the audio video live. If it was not live, I would just post-product everything, but I'm trying to keep it all live. So anyway, that's how that works so you guys can see. But listen, I watched this video and my thought was, these people aren't the most hardworking in the world. These people aren't the smartest, biggest IQ in the world by the time I got through the old video. And my thought process got to, should we all be millionaires? Like, what's really stopping us from being millionaires? What? And what are y'all's thoughts on that? Because none of the four of us are millionaires.
Not yet.
At the current moment. You know what I'm saying? At the current moment.
Listen.
But what's should we all be millionaires? What's stopping us from being millionaires? Chat, Tastemakers, let's talk about it.
Ideas, startup capital.
Capital is a major.
Those are the two I got. Because millionaires are typically people that like solve questions to a problem that everybody has. Or they invent stuff that's like, hey, this could help the world and I can get rich off it. Right? Or they get rich off other people as well too. So like, we just ain't thought of nothing yet.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna hit Kira real quick. My bad. Before you that, Kira put your circle. I can't rock with this your circle thing. All right, I can't rock with the your circle thing because I don't know what it is, but I attract business owners. I attract movers and shakers. So I've got a bunch of friends that is making $250, $500, yada yada, whatever. I ain't making that. And they my good friends. And we rock all the time. And I ain't making what they making. And I really don't understand why they hang with me. I really don't. I'm like, I don't understand. What is it that you guys see in me? But
so can I challenge that? Because I feel like it's what you do with your network, right? Because my network is similar, okay? And I ain't making that yet either. But I think for me, I had to change my mindset. I'm the type of person to be like, oh, I ain't asking nobody for nothing. And I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to use them for nothing. And I want, I have all these things in my head that I'm like, that keep me from, or have kept me from moving forward in certain things, right? I think if you utilize your network in a way that would help to elevate, right? Right. Exactly what Kira's saying. Why you ain't leveraging your resources, like using your network, leveraging what you have, right? Because having a wealthy network like that is a resource. These are resources. And so I think if you came to them with a, proposition or whatever, it's like, okay, let me strategize and think like, how can we help each other? You know what I mean? I think those are things that should happen. And I think as Black folk, in the Black community, a lot of us have too much pride to even go there. We have, it's a lot of things that I think again, our mental, how our mindset, how we're thinking about ourselves. Oh no, I'm not worthy of that type of, gift. I'm not worthy of that. Like, that's what I know for me. That's what has kept me, I think, from making more sooner. And I think too, my circle at a certain point, we just thought so low of ourselves, or low of what we were capable of doing in terms of our financial bracket. I think a lot of Christians, specifically Black Christians, we be like, can't make too much money, especially in the reform circles. Can't be making too much money because you're gonna be looked at like you're just trying to make money, and it's like, no, it's not just about the money. I want to accrue wealth for my family. I want to be able to do things for other people. You know what I'm saying? So I think mindset and the people that you're around.
That's so true about mindset. Cause like I'm taking my mom to Miami for her birthday, and like I'm letting her go on a shopping spree, and like I don't know why I couldn't have So my mindset was, for a long time, my mindset was I don't got it. I don't got it. I don't got it. Like, that's our first response when people ask us, do we got it? Like, can I have this? Can I borrow this? Like, I ain't got it. But I started thinking about it. I was like, yo, I do got it. Let me go crazy on my mom real quick. Let me go show her a good time real fast. Let me go to Vegas. Let me start experiencing life, because I got it. So I think, that's definitely a mindset of me knowing that I have it. And for me, yo, when I tell you people give me money for stupid stuff, like a lot of money.
That's what's up. That's favor right there.
It is. I do agree. And I think sowing and reaping is real too. So I increase my tithe every 6 months. And I do a lot of stuff that I should charge for. I do for free. So I think those two. So I think between those two is why people give me dumb money to do crazy stuff. And now I'm able to say, oh, I do got it. So like for the last year and a half, I've had to change my mindset and be like, okay, I do have it. You know what I'm saying?
Bree.
Yeah.
I think that one of the biggest barriers is that some people, it's like when you're stuck on a 9-to-5 mentality, to where you can only see what you can earn, working 8 hours, working 40 hours a week. You would think it's impossible to switch from, that mindset to being an entrepreneur and, being in a situation where you would have unlimited earning potential. I think once you break through that, then it's possible. It's possible for everybody, but you got to change the way you think first. That's gonna be the first step.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah. So, do we ever feel like our passions get in the way of us making certain money? Yay, nay?
I don't think so. No? I think your passions make you the money.
Okay.
Yeah. You got to figure out how to flip it. I think that's the key,
Monetize it.
Once you figure out how to monetize it and you have a plan, you know what I'm saying? Which is not easy, because I'm like, I started my business over 10 years ago. And so many people I've seen them surpass me. I see people that I met and we was on the same level. Now they like up here, right? And and I think what Destiny said was timing. I wholeheartely believe in that. I think for me, with just life and having kids and different seasons, I'm like able to do things, and different seasons I'm not. It's like, okay, well, I can't be really consistent in this, so I can't really expect for things to build up the way that I wanted to. But I think like right now, it's just like the timing is like, listen, you just gotta know like when the time is right. Prayer, definitely seeking the Lord on when to move and how to move, and but just having that plan initially is like what is super key.
That's what it is. Timing, yeah, Bob. I just want to encourage, and you're seeing this amongst the young people. It's just a beautiful thing that the internet can do, right? Where when we haven't had certain resources, whatever the case may be, and now you can get on YouTube University and you can learn about everything. So one thing that is extremely encouraging to me in the Black community is I'm hearing all these 20-something-year-olds talking about stocks, talking about bonds, talking about real estate, talking about crypto. I love it. Now, don't get me wrong, frustrates the mess out of me that I wasn't thinking like that in my 20s. Yeah. It really does. It does. And I'm going to make sure my children are set up to think like that, as they start getting, working and getting their checks and whatnot. But I'm encouraged seeing young Black men, women too, but I'm more so, I see it with the men more so, who are already learning about this stuff in their 20s to the point where they have a desire to start putting this stuff in effect. I mean, real estate, that's the move. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, what Katz is doing right now with stocks and whatnot and different things of that nature, that's the move. You know what I mean? Those are definitely the wealth building moves. I'm just glad to see it's happening. Like I said, there's a part of my brain that says, Lord, I just wish I knew then what I know now.
What I know now.
But that's just life. You know what I mean? You try not to get hung up on that, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it amazes me that I'm not in that status per se, or yeah, it just amazes me with the many things that I have going on, the many sticks that I have in these different fires and whatever the case may be, the earning potential, and it's just always waiting for something to break, always waiting for something to pop. And that's been my story. You know what I mean? That's my story. You know what I'm saying? I got so many, anyway, all that to be said, that's what it is. So I just wanted to think about that. Like, what are we doing that's preventing us from becoming millionaires? And should we be millionaires and not like that? There's just so much ways to make that dough right now. And I just want to make sure cats know about it and are getting it. Like I said, if you're in your 20s, 30s, if you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s, honestly, real estate and stocks, YouTube University, have at it, go forward, go hard. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like for real. But where I was saying is passion's getting away is, and I think I texted y'all this, and I was like, man, I'm not passionate about real estate. I'm not passionate about stocks and bonds. I'm more passionate about communications, entertainment, music, what we do here, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so I was wondering, all my passion sometimes getting in the way of, should I just ignore, I was, and I say this loosely, but it's like, should I just ignore my passions and just jump and dive right into what it takes to make the money? You know what I mean?
Tried that, it didn't work for me. I tried it already. Gotcha. And it's just miserable. Like, I hate money in general. And I feel like I have to be happy at what I'm doing, no matter how much money it makes. I want to be happy at something I call a career. Like, I can't do nothing as a side hustle that I don't like. I got to be obsessed with it or I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I feel you. I think you could do both too, to be honest, quote. I think for different people, you got to, adjust to whatever it fits the season or the situation, right? Like for me, I haven't worked for a corporate company in years, over a decade. And I'm here applying to corporate companies because I need that money. You know what I mean? I need it. And it's going to also help. I'm going to use that to help propel my next launch. So I know that this having to do that is very different than what, my passions are. But it's okay. It's okay because I'm gonna still be doing what I'm passionate about.
You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I mean, I've tried to just do the corporate thing and walk away and not pursue the passions, to the point where, you know, I've climbed the corporate ladder, boom, boom, and I literally a week before I lost my job, I literally heard God say, "My time, my turn, my turn." And I looked over to my dude who was a fellow believer, and I said, "Yo, I think I just heard God say it's his turn." And a week later, my boss flew down from Boston and fired me. Like,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it's just, you know, so I've learned to just, you know, continue to do the things that I believe God is telling me to do. But I'm you know, it is frustrating, you know, as you're waiting for things to pop. And different things of that nature. That could be very frustrating, or whatever the case may be. Anyway, that's that. Listen, make sure to like and subscribe. It's something that I forget to tell y'all to do throughout the joint. But it costs you nothing. It means the world to us. Just simply you liking, of course, it takes the YouTube algorithm and it tells people that, hey, Tastemakers Pod is worth watching. And it launches it out to everybody so they can see what's going on, and you know, you can let them know what's going on here at the Tastemakers Pod. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. We definitely appreciate y'all. Shouts out to Kira, always rocking with us. Shouts out to Tosh, always rocking with us. Stephen the Levite, my man Regis, my man Charles. So many cats. Good to see you in here, Destiny, which is your best friend. Is that right, Trish?
Yeah, that's my sister.
All right. Just a sister right there. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shouts out to you. And, you know, just like I said, everybody who comes and join us, we appreciate you guys. Again, make sure to like and subscribe, share, tell a neighbor, tell a friend about what we do right here at the Tastemakers Pod. That's your girl, Trisha Bell. That's my dude, light skin Corey. My girl, Brina, right there. They call me, quote, you've been tuned in to the Tastemakers Pod. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Bow.